Hello Habos. ShaunDreclin here. I'd like to take a little break from all the recent negativity surrounding Channel 4 and the mute, to talk about a Habo feature that has seemingly been abandoned. I'm talking of course about Wired. Let me begin by saying how much I love Wired. It's my favorite thing about Habo and I don't think I would still be playing today without it. However, working with it as much as I do, I've noticed many shortcomings that I plan to address in this video, as well as suggestions to make it even more robust. So please sit back, relax, and let me tell you my ideas to turn Wired into the game-making machine it was always meant to be. Number 1. Wired Effect. Teleport to Fernie does not teleport users instantly. They have about a second after triggering the effect to run around and interact with things. Here's an example of how this could ruin an otherwise perfect game. This user just fell off the rollers in a maze, but then ran into the teleporter and made it to the next level anyway. This could be fixed to work just like bonsai tiles, so that as soon as the teleport is triggered, the user is stopped in their tracks. Like so. Number 2. Wired Effect. Show message only displays a message to one person. There should be another wired box. Wired Effect. Announce message. It would shout a message to the whole room. You could use some sort of variable replacement to display the person's name in your message, for example showing a message with a username when somebody scores a point in a game. Number 3. We need negative conditions. Either as an option in the existing condition boxes, or as new boxes altogether. It doesn't matter how you do it, just get it in there. Wired Condition. Fernie does not have Fernie. Wired Condition. Fernie does not have users. Wired Condition. Fernie states and positions do not match, and Wired Condition. Triggering user is not on Fernie. These conditions would be an incredible tool for making advanced automated wired games, and would even be useful in some simple applications. For example, you could make a lineup for your game that automatically closes when it's full, then opens again when there is space in it. Number 4. Wired Teams and Scoreboards. This group of new wired boxes would make team-based games much easier to manage and automate. First, let's look at the team boxes. Wired Effect. Make user part of team. This box would have a selection of 4 teams, as well as an option for no team. When this box is triggered, the user would become part of that team and their avatar would glow with their team color. Wired Condition. User is part of team. Wired Condition. User is not part of team. These conditions would only allow triggering if the user's team matches the criteria. Now, these team boxes are only the first half of this. The second half would be displaying scores. I'm suggesting a new set of 4 scoreboards that would be connected to the wired teams, and could be controlled directly by this set of wired boxes. Wired Effect. Increase team score. Wired Effect. Decrease team score, and Wired Effect. Match team score. To go along with these effects, we'd have 3 conditions. Wired Condition. Team score is equal to. Wired Condition. Team score is less than, and Wired Condition. Team score is more than. This is all a lot to remember, but with these 4 effects and 5 conditions, the possibilities for amazing new games are endless. Number 5. Areas. This is my last idea and it's a little bit complicated, but I believe it could give room owners the power to truly control what goes on in their rooms. For this example, let's pretend areas have already been added to the game. The first step in creating an area is to set up your area markers. Place 2 of them down in your room, one of them for the top corner and one of them for the bottom corner. Once the 2 corners are positioned, you're done. You now have an area. Habo will draw invisible lines coming out from those markers to find the area, like so. So now that we have our areas, let's look at some wired to interact with them. Wired Trigger. User enters area. Wired Trigger. User leaves area. These 2 triggers are pretty self-explanatory. Wired Condition. User is in area. Wired Condition. User is not in area. These conditions are also very easy to understand. Wired Effect. Mute area. Wired Effect. Unmute area. These 2 effects would allow you to have greater control over speech in your room, for example muting an audience area while people in a stage are still allowed to talk. Wired Effect. Announce message in area. This would display a wired message only to people in the area. Wired Effect. Teleport users from area to Fernie. This is probably the most important area-related effect. It would provide a way to remove many users from a game when they lose or when other conditions are met. I hope you put some thought into these suggestions, and work on implementing at least some of them into the game. Wired has such great potential, but right now it's just not doing what it is really able to do. Don't give up on us Wired game makers. Thank you for your time.